Could you tell me a bit about what your job involves?
I teach construction technology to first, second and third year students, and I also teach in the civil engineering department and teach first and third year civil engineering students too.
And what do you enjoy most about it?
I love teaching because it's very rewarding and getting to know the students. I love being able to talk about engineering because it's a subject that I'm quite enthusiastic about, and be able to explain the principles of building designs and bridge designs, etc. And I'm also now enjoying doing research, and I'm particularly interested in looking at how we can use Scottish timber a wee bit more in our buildings that we're constructing across the country.
What careers were you involved with before the one you're in now?
Well, when I graduated at honours degree in civil engineering, I joined a firm called O'Varrop & Partners, who are a huge, big international consultant engineering firm, and I was really lucky to work for them because I got exposed to a whole variety of different designs. So I've designed shopping centres, I've looked at bridge designs, flood prevention schemes, I've looked at refurbishing buildings. I worked overseas, and I've designed buildings in Hong Kong and Australia, £300 million jobs, some of them. So I got a very large experience, very wide experience, and I did that for 13 years, and then I started tutoring here to help engineering students understand how to design buildings, and then was lucky enough to then become a lecturer, so that's where I am now.
What first attracted you to study engineering?
Well, I have an uncle who was a civil engineer, and when I was a teenager he was working abroad, he was working in Africa and the Middle East, and I was very interested in the work he was doing. He was doing things like irrigation schemes and helping some of the people in communities get clean water, etc. So I thought that would be quite rewarding. And I wanted to travel because I was always interested in travelling, and also I was enjoyed maths and physics, so there seemed to be a kind of natural bent that I would move towards engineering.
How do you manage to balance your work life with your family and your personal time?
Well, nowadays, because I'm an academic, it's really good because the university sector helps women work part-time. So since the birth of my older daughter, I've been able to work 3 days a week, so that's for 7 years. And even when I worked in industry, after I had my older daughter, I was working part-time as well. So that's nice. And now that my children are at school, I'm going to go back to work full-time now. So I think now particularly that I'm an academic is a really good balance between the children and my job here.
Why would you recommend a career in engineering to somebody who's thinking about it?
Well, I mean, I loved it studying it as a degree. And because of the variety, I didn't want to just study, say, pure maths or pure physics. So from memory, when I studied, I had about 8 different subjects in first and second year, and it's very similar nowadays. And you're being taught to, as I said, work in teams. You're being taught to solve problems. So it's a numeric degree, and at the end of it, you come out with a whole host of skills that make you very, very employable. And it's just very interesting to kind of know how does a bridge work and how does a building stand up. So it's a very, very interesting degree. In terms of career path, the fantastic thing about it as a career is no 2 days are the same. I mean, you work on totally different projects. So you could be working on a small house design one day, and you could be working on a £300 million railway station design the next. And you're meeting a huge host of people, lots of architects, lots of quantity surveyors, other engineers. So it's a very, very interesting career path. And then the great thing is you actually have a physical product at the end of the day. So I can drive past buildings that I designed, and I know I worked on them, and there's something left there. There's an actual building that I can point to and say I worked on that. So you get a lot of job satisfaction from that as well.
Okay, that's it. Thank you very much.